I'm in El Salvador, and let me start off by saying how underrated this country is. Now, I'm not going to go into the violence or the gang warfare or the crime statistics because, yeah, it's bad. El Salvador has had a terribly traumatic past, but it's clawing its way to a better future, and that's what makes this trip so exciting. I'm here in such a great time of change and optimism, and I'm just so excited to spend the next few days discovering El Salvador with you. And as usual, I will be completely price transparent so you know how much a trip to El Salvador might cost you. I'm in San Salvador, the capital city. I'm downtown in Plaza Gerardo Barrios. Now this is the main square of the city, aka the heart of the city, and as I look around, there are so many things I want to check out. There is such an exciting buzz to this place that I just can't wait to throw myself into it. Starting with the Metropolitan Cathedral of the Holy Savior, which is behind me. Inside the cathedral is the crypt of Saint Oscar Analfo Romero. His dedication to working with the poor and speaking out against social injustices during the Civil War was absolutely epic, and it unfortunately led to his assassination. Now the crypt is closed today, but it's definitely worth a visit. Welcome to Mercado Central, the busiest market in El Salvador. Sprouting off Plaza Gerardo Barrios, the streets overflow with stalls, music, food, colours and chaos. The merchants here are so lovely and not pushy at all, although haggling is customary. I was also advised not to stray too far away from the plaza for safety reasons. This place is like a rabbit warren. There's just streets sprawling in every direction, just full of market stalls selling things like clothes, shoes. There's a lot of fakes, food. I saw this one store that had no idea what it was because it sold bras, notebooks, limes and goldfish. I'm not gonna lie, I'm incredibly lost right now. Check out this ugly building behind me. It looks like a construction site, right? Wrong. El Rosario Church was built in 1917, and I can't for the life of me find out why it has such an ugly exterior. It just seems like such a weird architectural choice. But then you come inside and it has these beautiful, colourful stained glass windows. It just looks like a rainbow. Actually, it looks like the gay pride flag, which is pretty funny because I'm sure it was quite an unintentional thing to do for a Catholic church. I decided to hire a driver for 2 days as I was on a tight schedule and wanted to see as much as El Salvador as possible. But if you have a bit more time up your sleeve and you're not on a tight budget, buses are a great alternative, starting at just 30 cents a ride. Let me introduce you to pupusas. These are rice flour dough or maize dough, and then they're stuffed with cheese, beans, meat, or all three. They're absolutely delicious. My next stop is San Salvador Volcano in El Bucaron National Park, just an easy 40-minute drive from Plaza Gerardo Barrios. It sits at 1,900 meters above sea level and is said to be 70,000 years old. It last erupted in 1917. Too many pupusas. This place is huge. It's 1.5 kilometers in circumference and 558 meters deep. And then right in the center of this crater is another crater, a really little mini cute crater, and it's called Little Bukuron. Aww. My last stop for today is Joya de Seren, also known as the Pompeii of El Salvador. So around 590 AD, Loma Caldera volcano erupted, covering this village in ash, essentially preserving it and creating this time capsule. And what makes this particular place unique is that it's a farming village. And, you know, researchers are normally interested in the rulers or the elite of this time and finding out more about them. But this is just a little village. It's just ordinary people, and it gives such an insight into just, well, people like you and me, really. This says here that they have actually found the imprints of the fingerprints of the people who used to live here from 590 AD. Are you kidding me? Since 1988, a whole handful of buildings have been unearthed here. Places like workshops, kitchens, storehouses, family homes, also a tesmacal. I don't think that's how you pronounce it, but basically it's a sauna that helps heal the body, mind, and spirit. But I think my favorite unearthing is behind me. It's a shaman's house or a healer's house. And this is where a lot of rituals according to a corn harvest or fertility took place. So I've just come across a recreation of the tesmacal or the sauna, and I read a little bit further then on the information board that this was actually used for women after childbirth or the really sick. And you can see just down here. So that's where the rocks and the herbs were put, and then you've got this whole area here to sit at, and then you've got just this tiny little opening there to get out. Now the people were really, really small here. I heard on average they were about, the average adult was about 4'8". So that little opening is very, very small. Good morning, welcome to day 2 of El Salvador. Today I am discovering the Ruta de las Flores, or the flower route. Each year between December and November, this stretch of road absolutely blooms into the most beautiful flowers, and the scenic route goes through 6 different villages. Now I'm not going to have enough time to stop at each one. I'm just going to stop at a couple, starting with Ataco. Ataco is the most popular town along Ruta de las Flores, and it's also the most colorful. The entire place is covered in these most amazing murals, each telling their own story and predominantly depicting what life is like in rural El Salvador. next stop is the town of Waiwa and its weekend food festival. There's so many choices of what you can have to eat here, and because I don't speak Spanish or I can't read Spanish, I don't know what anything is. So luckily they have these display plates. So I ended up with some prawns, potatoes, some tortillas, and a meat. Beef or pork. My last stop for today is Santa Teresa Hot Springs, fed by the largest hot water geyser in Central America. The numerous sulfur-rich pools range from lukewarm to actually very, very, very hot, and they are perfect for detoxing the skin and healing the mind and body. Welcome to Tunco! Located on the southern Pacific coast and just a 45-minute drive southwest of San Salvador, El Tunco is the perfect place to surf, relax, and chill out. The small town is only really made up of 2 streets, lined with cafes, tour operators, hostels, bars, markets, and tourist shops. Seems like a complete world away from my last 2 days in El Salvador. It's like it's a completely different country. I am surprised at how expensive this place is. Scooter hire for the day is $30. To get a taxi just like 10 minutes down the street is $20. And my accommodation was actually very expensive. Here, I'll show you. I'm staying at Olale Beach Hotel. It has beautiful grounds, a pool, a bar, and the price includes a simple breakfast. Sadly, there is no hot water and it can get a bit loud on the weekends when the restaurant turns into a beach club. This area is also known as Surf City, and surprisingly, it was one of the first areas in El Salvador to accept Bitcoin as well as the USD. So you can buy anything here with Bitcoin, accommodation, food, even the little markets along the beachfront accept Bitcoin. This brownie, I could buy that with Bitcoin. From the diverse landscapes, history, food, to the kind and welcoming locals with such big hearts and a fantastic sense of humour, El Salvador has certainly been a breath of fresh air. If you found this vlog helpful, please leave a like and make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out on my next one.